Right in the heart of downtown Gulfport, just blocks away from the Mississippi Gulf coastline, is the historic First United Methodist Church. In 1896, this church began as a Sunday school class. Protestants, Catholics, and people from other denominations met in railroad boxcars to study God's Word. Today, we are still meeting in the city center, and the train sirens continue to blare day and night, reminding us to carry on with our mission to make disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world.
As we pulled everything out to the street, one thing we kept thinking over and over is, why did we think it was so important to work hard to buy all this stuff? Stuff is not important. People are important. And you have, in the gospel, it talks about storing up treasures. And, we were guilty of storing up stuff. How many bedspreads do you really need? You need one.
There was a certain group that came down from Montana that really came, and they were working on one of my neighbor's houses, but they came and helped me. But I wrote this on August the 21st, 2012, and it's to Harvest Church in Billings. I'm writing to personally thank members of your church who came to Gulfport, Mississippi following Hurricane Katrina. Brittany helped me shift through all of the debris sitting beside me while I talked about my losses and never questioned the practicality or the sanity of the things I thought I should keep. She also left a gift of over $200 for me to use when rebuilding. I'm especially thankful for the volunteers from Harvest Church, their work and witness, and the prayers and support of those who stayed home and supported them in their mission to us. I'll never forget your kindness. Thanks.
I managed to make my way down here to the church. I guess it was probably lunchtime or a little after, and Gus was here by himself.
With his dog.
With his dog, Mick, basically taking what he could get out of here himself, already out to the sidewalk. And he had set up a board out by the door, right here by the library. They would come and make a note on the flip chart, about what their status was, where they washed away, where they would be, that kind of thing, and that was a real gift. Gus was a good shepherd in a difficult and trying time.
I remember the Sunday after the storm, we had communion. Whoever could get here, because there was razor wire by then at the tracks. Whoever could get here to come to church came to church, and we had no power. We had nothing, but we had grape juice and we had taco shells, and that was probably the holiest communion I've ever had.
One day we drove up to work on our house, and the man who was keeping traffic from going down the street said, "I have something for you." And he held up my class ring. And time after time, things came back to us. Maybe not ours, but something like it to replace the things that we had lost. God was present in every step of our recovery.
In fact, my family gave me a t-shirt that says Mr. Fix-It, and I consider myself to be Mr. Fix-It. Well, after the storm, I came back and saw the house and just total destruction inside, and my machine shop, precision metalworking equipment, every piece of equipment had been inundated with salt water and mud, and I was just devastated. But gradually, as things began to come back together again, I came to realize who the ultimate Mr. Fix-It is, and that's the ultimate guy right there. God has this.
The church service. That first week we were just there at the church. Gus said, I'm going to the church. I don't know where everybody is, but they will know that we're at the church. And if they need me, they'll come to the church. On Saturday, he said, we're going to have a service tomorrow. I said, how are people going to know that we're having a service? He said, they'll know. The mayor had said that none of the churches below the railroad track would be able to go to their churches. The others were gutted through. Ours was still standing. So Gus said, where's the mayor? He walked across, stayed a while, convinced the mayor we were going to have a service. And the mayor said they have to stop at the railroad track and walk in. So that Sunday morning, we had somewhere around 40 to 50 people who did that.
I was teaching at the time, and it was just a wonderful feeling after 5 weeks of the school being closed to get back to school and do something normal, the old normal.
When we came here a day or two after the storm, Gus was here and Sarah, and they had severe damage to their home and could not be in their home either. And so he invited us to take a bed here for a few days, which we took him up on until we found a place to go. So we loved our church, and we knew we could depend on this church for our faith to keep us going.
Here we were living for 3 weeks in one of the rooms that we had created for the homeless, never dreaming that we would be one of the homeless.